Hello everybody, my name is Ebbot10s here, and today I'm going to be doing a Zac guide. The reason I really wanted to make this video is I see a lot of Zac players making very key mistakes when they're playing him, so I just wanted to make this as a sort of a statement about how to play this champion well. So without further ado, let's get on into it. So first, I'm going to talk about the rune page. Uh, this is a pretty set in stone page. Currently, the last patch, Zac, I think it was 8.10, Zac was actually buffed in the way his abilities scale with AP, which I will show you a different page that you can do with him, but this is the normal tank Zac that you see in the jungle all the time, played from bronze to challenger. So, first, resolve tree. We're going to go aftershock. It's out of the three, definitely the best. You're going to get the most value, plus it's going to help your survivability. Second, I do Fauna Life. It's going to help with healing for your teammates. I do Second Wind. I think this isn't as important. The extra 60 health is nice, but I mean, you're not going to be building much AP anyway, so changing over the ability power isn't going to help you any. And then Revitalize is very important with Zac's passive. With his secondary tree, there's kind of two ways you can go. I normally do the Domination tree line. Sudden Impact, because of your dash or your leap, gives you a burst of magic penetration. And then Ravenous Hunter, which is really good because you're going to be able to heal from your ability damage after you get those takedowns. The second thing you can do, which I actually see quite a bit, is the Inspiration tree line, and especially Approach Velocity, which you're going to gain 15% more movement speed towards allied champions or enemy champions that you impair, which is going to be really important, so you can kind of stick with people and keep CCing them as you're going in. So Approach Velocity, and then the other one's up to your discretion. I love Feature Market. That's just me. You pick. So yeah, next we're going to get into your build page. Alright, so this is our build guide for Zac. Your starting item is going to be Hunter's Talisman and Refillable Potion pretty much every time. That's pretty much set in stone. I mean, you obviously could do Hunter's Vicinity, but I feel like Talisman's just better. And every single time, as long as you're doing tank Zac, you're going to go into Center Hawk as well. That's set in stone. As far as first items, if it's I'd say a balance or magic ability power team, Spirit Visage is your go-to item, just because of the passive with the healing. It works great with your blobs. So that's what I try to build to every time. If you see, like, maybe you get like a Twitch jungle and a Jinx ADC and a Jhin mid, obviously Thornmail is going to be the better bet. Same with Ninja Tabbies and Merc Treads. If you have a heavy CC team, that kind of thing, it's going to be pretty self-explanatory to go for Merc Treads over that, but high auto attacks, Yi, Tryndamere, stuff like that, Ninja Tabby is going to be where it's at. For the items after that, all of these are good, specific scenarios. One question I get a lot of the time is, when do you build ability power on Zac? Because it does scale pretty well. If you go in for a tank build, you don't. That's pretty much it. If you're ahead enough, third, fourth, maybe if your fifth item, you could build Liandry's. It does pretty well. You've got the health to help you scale, plus the passive with the 2% more damage each time in combat, and it burns enemies, which is nice. Other than that, never want to build ability power on Zac unless you're doing pretty much a full AP Zac build, which I'm going to get into later. So yep, that's the pretty standard build. Alright, so this is the second build you can do with Zac. The previous one I showed you was the tank Zac build. This is going to be AP Zac build. This one's not really set in stone because it's kind of a new thing with Riot buffing the AP scaling on a couple of his abilities. But this is what I like to do. I tried it out. It does pretty well. So I start with the Domination tree, line with Electrocute. You're going to find that Electrocute's really easy to proc with Zac. If you hit the full CC chain, extremely easy to proc, and does massive amounts of damage. Some of sudden impact, I showed you that's what I use for the secondary tree line on the tank Zac, so obviously it fits well here too. Do Eyeball Collection and Ravenous Hunter, which I did on the secondary tree line of the previous tank Zac. For secondary tree line, did Sorcery. Obviously, you want to scale with the ability power. Scorch, just a pretty good all-the-way out ability. Burns champions for every 20 seconds. And an absolute focus. Because you're going to be healing so much with Zac that if you are below 70% health, you're probably going to be dead. So, absolute focus does wonders here. Next, we're going to get into the build of AP Zac. Alright, so this is our build for AP Zac. Before I say this, I just want to make it clear that picking AP Zac is a very, very fringe champion. It just came out, no one's really tested it, and it is heavily reliant on you hitting your abilities. If you can't hit the abilities, which I'm going to talk about later, combos and stuff like that, there's no way that you can make this work. So once you get good at getting the abilities, I'd say learning Zac is definitely, you want to learn as tank Zac. Once you get good at hitting those abilities, go ham, play this build. So same start as tank Zac with Talisman, Refillable Pot, and then you're going to go into Echoes, Runic Echoes. It just got a little bit of a buff this last patch, 8.10. That's going to be your base joinery item. These 5 are going to be your, I'd say, pretty standard build. You're going to see down here some other things you can do as well. Obviously, you can't build all of these. It's going to be very reliant on the game. But Leandre's is going to be probably your second item, if not your third after your boots. And Death Cap is going to be a great item to pick. Also, obviously, if they're heavily tanked, get some magic penetration. I threw these 2 in here. I'm not sure how I feel about them. I've played them a couple times. But they can easily be swapped out. I played a Gunblade Zac. It was very good. I also played another game with Gunblade Zac and it didn't do so well. So that's kind of a fringe one too. If they have a lot of healing, you're facing Soraka, Vlad, those kinds of champions, then this would be a great item. Spellbinder I messed around with a little bit too. It's really good at keeping up with your opponents, but I don't know. And then Sorcerer's Shoes is going to be your go-to boots if you're finding yourself CC'd a bunch or taking a lot of auto attacks, and Tabbies and Merc Tread's going to be good. If you're going against a heavy damage team and you find yourself getting bursted down too much, I think these 3 items are probably helping the most. Banshee's Veil, obviously, for the spell shield, plus the magic resistance. This is pretty good, just if you need to activate it, just to keep yourself alive. And then Deadman's, even though no like AP stats, you could still run people down with this. So it's very, very good. And yeah, so that's the build. I'm going to move into the combos and how to use your abilities effectively right now. Alright, so now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the guide. Really how to play Zac effectively, what his abilities do, and how to combo together to get the longest CC possible. So first we're going to start with the passive. Basically what this is every time Zac hits an enemy with ability, he's going to shred a piece of him that you can reabsorb. So I'm just going to use his W to show you how exactly it works. But let's say we hit our W around the champion, and we hit the champion with it. There's the blob. You pick it up, you restore health. Just so you can see that again. And again. And you're going to see that every single one of his abilities do the exact same thing. They're going to release this blob. Also, if Zac dies, he's going to split into 4 blobs. Much like an Anivia passive. Therefore, he can still be killed, but he can't do any damage. But he splits into 4 pieces instead of just that one, like the Anivia. Which can be really good. So you got to make sure you know when that's up, so you can effectively use it. Know when you can tower dive. Know when to stay underneath the tower. Try to bait the enemy to come in and try to kill you. Alright, so first we're going to start with this Q. As Q reads, Zac arm stretches and grabs the first enemy it hits, dealing damage and slowing them. Zac's next basic attack is replaced with a long-range smack that repeats the initial magic damage and slow effect. I see a lot of people use this incorrectly. A lot of people will hit someone with it, and then hit them again. And that does nothing. As you can see that blob right there. Sidetracked. Here's what you want to do. So, if this is a champion, hit the first Q. Then you want to hit the second Q, and he slams them together. Just like that. Even if you have one that's really far away like that, you can still hit them, and they pull them together. As you can see, because they were so far away, they didn't smack each other. But it's still a great form of CC. Hit it, smack them, hit them together. So you can do this one of two ways. You can either smack a person, champion, and smack a minion to hit them together. You can smack the minion and then the champion hit them together, or even two champions. It works anyway. You just need something that you can attack. I will also show you up here. You can even do it for non-champions too. So if you hit here, hit this, boom, still works. Anything you can auto, you can use it with your Q. And it's really good. One thing you can't do is hit him over the wall. Wow. Sorry. If you can hit him over the wall, it doesn't go through the wall. I think that's really important to notice. But you can still slam them into the wall. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Alright. Next is his W. So Zack's body erupts, dealing damage, and 8% of the enemy's max health as max damage. Basically, this is your way of DPS, or damage per second, to enemy champions. So basically, you're gonna, let's say you go in with your this, you CC him, you're just gonna constantly be spamming that. Every time you pick up a glue bot, the cooldown gets refreshed or taken away. So hit with one, it's at 4 seconds. Well, let me turn this off. So anyway, hit him with one, pick this up, and it gets refreshed. 4, down to 2. 4, 3, 2. See how it gets cooldown by 1 second. So that's really important. So if you're like, you're spamming off abilities, you run around, pick it up, slam, pick it up, slam, just like that. It's a pretty simple ability. You really just spam it and fly at fights, and you'll probably get the hits off. Next is Zack's E. This is the ability you're going to max first. If you're going to max abilities, you're going to do E, then W, then Q. So Zack's W reads, first cast, Zack phases the cursor and charges up to 1.3 seconds. And for how long you charge is how long you can go. Then second cast launches Zack towards a location, knocking him up enemies for 0.5 to 1 seconds based on the charge time. So the longer you charge, the longer they're knocked up for. So basically this is how it looks. Hold down E. As you can see, I can go this far, let go, and hit him with it. Just like that. So you can see it's not as long, but if I charge it up all the way, it's 1 second. This also scales with the level. So if it's a level 1, it's only going to have a very short cast range. Level 5, it's all the way. That's why you want to do that. Scale it as fast as you can, so you get as far as you can. And this is why Zack is such a good jungler. He can be almost anywhere and hit people. So I can gank from right here. If I can see them, boom, hit them. Most of the time when I'm juggling Zack, I try to gank for the raptor pits. Most people don't ward from there, so it's really easy to do. So if you're here, I don't know if we're going to reach this guy. Oh, there it is, just like that. So you even have to go in these bushes, which is where the primary warding spots are for enemy mid laners. I won't get it from here, but go to the raptor pit, charge it up. Look at that range, just like that. You also want to be trying to predict people too, because if they see you coming, they can move and try to get out of your way so you can't hit by the E. Yeah, so we'll go into the ultimate. First cast, Zack squishes himself down, makes himself immune to crowd control for up to 2.5 seconds. Enemies standing on top of him are slowed. Second cast, you can charge it for 1.1 seconds, and you can scoop up enemies on top of him, carrying them towards the location. So this is how it looks like. You're going to go up here, hold it down, you see there's the cast range, and you hit him off of you. Now, you can also hold it down and then pick a place to go, and you'll bring it with him. So there's two ways to use this. You can hold it down just as a disruption, you just let go, or you can hold it down and then click. But you have to wait that 1.1 second. So if I try to hold it down and click before that, it'll just bounce him away. Just like that. If you hold it down for the 1.1 seconds, you're going to see the ring turns green. And then if you pick a place to go, you can carry it with you. Just like that. But if you just hold it down, don't do anything, it's going to bounce him away. Alright, so let's get into the combos. So, here's the main combo. Engage with E. You're going to Q something, and then you're going to Alt. Just like that. All the while, you're going to be spamming that W as well. Alright, now let's take cooldowns off, so I can show you how many times you can use your abilities in a fight. So you've got these two. Just like that. Now you see that these are at 4 seconds, so you're going to give them a little bit to get away. You can get right back in on them with the E, Q back up, CC them back up, walk away. Or you can stay in and just spam. Find them, walk away, E back on, Q them, just like that. So that's a pretty typical combo. Another combo you could do is you can see that after doing the entire combo, I still have 4 seconds left of both these abilities. So if you're worried about flashes, here's what you could do. Okay, engage with E, straight into the ult, then Q. If they flash, you're latched. You auto minion, bring him right back, hit him with the E again. And that's really good because even if they flash away, you're still latched onto them. As long as you're within this area, you're still latched onto them. Just like that. So yeah, those are the main combos with Zack. I just wanted to make this to let people know how to really use him. A lot of people know how to use the E. E's pretty easy, W's pretty easy, but it's the Q people mess up. They just want to punch the thing again. But you need another target to slam them together. And the ult, I see a lot of people, they'll hold it and then bounce them away. And you're like, what? Q them together, bounce them away. In a fight, there's also two ways to use the ult. One is engage with the backline. Obviously, like I showed you, Q, Q. Now bring the backline to you, to your team. Or, if this is the front line, bring them together, take the front line, and then toss them out of the way. I see a lot of people, they'll be like an Alistar and a Volibear up front. And they'll latch onto them, and they'll bring them right to your team. And then they just CC your team and you lose. You can't do that. You have to know how to use them, when to use them. So take this. This is the front line. Take them away from the fight. And you can latch them up, CC them. That way they can get to the back line. Or you can go back in and get to the back line. Just like that. There's a couple other things you can do with Zack. And that is make plays on Baron and Dragon. So, let's get this worded up. You don't actually have to go to the Dragon Pit to steal the dragon. So if you sit from this corner, you're going to wait till it's getting destroyed. Time up your E. You can actually fly over the length of the pit and smite it. Just like that. Obviously I didn't make it over the pit. Let me try it again. So, over the length of the pit. Well, he's mad at me. Alright, so over the length of pit and smite. Just like that. A lot of people don't see that coming. You can do that in the Baron pit too. Jump over the entire pit and steal it. And that's why Zac is by far my favorite and one of the best junglers in the game. It's because of the plays he can make. Sit here, fly over the pit, and smite. Just like that. You don't even have to go in. That's just a little tidbit I like to do. Something a lot of people don't know, but it's really, really, really fun and can completely swing a game into your favor. So, that was a guide. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more guides in the future. I'm really glad to have made this video for you guys. And if you have any questions, leave it down with a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.